Radical.
WrestleMania 40 is in the books, and the story is finished. Cody Rhodes is now the heavyweight champion, the universal champion, whatever they call the champion on Raw, that's what he is. And there's another champion, Damian Priest, but we're not going to talk about Damian Priest. We're not going to talk about anything else. Don't try to just focus on Cody Rhodes and what is the new era in WWE. It's an exciting time. It is an exciting time for me because I got away from following wrestling. I used to love pro wrestling. I call it pro wrestling. I never called it sports entertainment. We'll get into that in a moment. But we're back to pro wrestling. We're back to an emphasis on pro wrestling. And we're back to just excitement, man. This is an exciting time in WWE. And for me, it's great to see the return of a lot of these other former wrestlers back from eras, specifically the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression Era, those eras before the PG era. The PG era. I don't think anybody really cared much about the PG era. I think I've said this before. If you want to sell me on people actually having fights in the ring, I want to see some freaking attitude. Sometimes, occasionally, doesn't hurt to see even a little bit of blood like we saw in the Rock-Cody Rhodes feud. The Rock made him bleed. And that was kind of shocking to see on TV, but The Rock's been dropping F-bombs, man. Other wrestlers, I'm not sure if they're allowed to, but it's kind of like they're taking the reins off a little bit. And it's pretty exciting. I mean, and I promised I wouldn't go into a lot other than the Cody Rhodes stuff, so I will focus on the Cody Rhodes stuff and the Roman Reigns stuff specifically. Roman Reigns was champion for a long time. I can't believe it. Over 3 years. I still can't believe that I read that. Over 3 years. His title reign was only fourth behind Hulk Hogan, Bob Backlund, and Bruno Sammartino. Did he deserve for it to be? Is he the best in pro wrestling today? I don't know, you can argue about that. But he held on to that belt for a long-ass time. So it's a big deal that Cody Rhodes won and got that belt specifically. I mean, not knocking the other belt, but I'm going to knock the other belt. The other belt that Damian Priest got, I mean, nobody really cares about that belt. It's just, that's not the title. They need to just get rid of that title, I would say, because it's clearly the secondary title. Going forward, now that Cody Rhodes is champion, what's his feud's going to be? It's kind of weird. The thing that I found the weirdest about this is even though he beat Roman Reigns for the title, it seemed like all the focus was on The Rock and Cody Rhodes. Wasn't it kind of weird? Almost 89% of the focus was on The Rock and Cody Rhodes. Well, see, they're building up something versus The Rock and Cody Rhodes in the future. They are. Because they were in the ring, The Rock handed him something and told him not to break his heart again or something like that. So my guess is either it was a Billy Ray Cyrus CD, Achy Breaky Heart, or 2 tickets to Black Adam. No, that shit's left the theaters for a long time. I mean, I won't call shit. I saw it. I don't think it was terrible. Maybe if I saw it again, I would think it was terrible. In the theater, I mean, most people were kind of into it, but but it's not one of the best superhero movies, I'll say that. And then he exited. And there was an awkward moment between Cody and The Rock where The Rock asked him, can we hold each other's belts, And the crowd even started to chant awkward. So he has a belt given to him by the Muhammad Ali's kid, I believe. People's Champion belt. Okay, but the story is done. And congrats to Cody Rhodes. That was the right result. You definitely don't want to end the first WrestleMania after the Vince McMahon era, the leaves, on a sour note. So that was the right choice. It's also why the Bloodline, Rock, and Roman Reigns won the night before. Okay, so going into the new era, they are no longer calling it sports entertainment. It is professional wrestling. They're all talking about how they love professional wrestling. Just a jab in the eye to Vince McMahon if he's actually watching WrestleMania or following it, because it was so fucking stupid to call it sports entertainment. Like they were ashamed of what it was. It's wrestling. It is what it is. It's pro wrestling. But he was ashamed of that. He was all into the aspect of, oh, it's entertainment. It's sports entertainment. It's not sports, man. It is what it is. It's its own thing. It's not basketball or hockey or whatever. It's pro wrestling. It's wrestling, man. You know? And pro wrestling is about wrestling. Well, I'll say wrestling. Yeah, pro wrestling. Wrestling is about a lot of things. It's about over-the-top characters like The Rock and Stone Cold and John Cena. It's about funny segments. It's about the ring product. It's about losing yourself in just the story that's told in the ring and outside the ring. And also, it's about time that they moved on from the Vince era. They moved on from it. It's basically a dirty word. In the Vince McMahon era, wrestling was a dirty word because it was entertainment, sports entertainment. But now they're not mentioning Vince McMahon. They've edited him out of pretty much all the archive footage that you might see on Peacock or wherever, WWE Network or whatnot. And they're moving on from that. So we have all these eras. Moving out of the PG era, because a lot of blood would not be on TV in the PG era, definitely not. So what do you call this era? Is it just simply known as the new era? The post-Vince McMahon era? There's no official name for it. I'm not sure if they'll actually give it a official name other than maybe just the new era. Could be the Triple H Rock era. I don't know. But what's important is the WWE has never been better. The product has never been better. A lot of excitement because you got CM Punk there and you got some other things going on. Definitely. I mean, I wish I could keep up with all of it. I love the R-Truth stuff. Anything R-Truth is just freaking golden. He wants to be in the Judgment Day. Any of you that follow know that R-Truth is one of the funniest. And other wrestlers will say, like, in the back, he is one of the biggest, funniest goofs ever. He's a big prankster and whatnot. AEW. I have not paid any attention to AEW. Although AEW is still kind of salty that CM Punk left, and they're paying attention to CM Punk. Supposedly, on the next Dynamite, they're going to actually have some footage they're going to show of CM Punk that's maybe going to make him look bad or something like that. That's what I've been hearing about on a lot of YouTube uploads, people talking about it, which I don't get that, other than just being salty that he's now back home in WWE. When it comes to AEW, I'm not saying that they don't have some good wrestlers and maybe some okay storylines. A lot of you probably big fans of AEW, but you got to admit, AEW is nowhere near the level of hype of WWE, especially right now. And that's pretty crazy, because they were probably thinking a couple months back, hey, we got him now. All this negative press over Vince McMahon, basically, pooping on some people. We got him now. This is our opportunity. Nope. Always going to be number two. A distant number two will be AEW. Speaking of that, I might tune in and catch some AEW if I have time. Wait, scratch that. I never have time.